So it looks like It Chapter 3 could actually be the next chapter, even though they have really marketed Chapter 2 to be the end of the story. But apparently, according to Hollywood, that don't mean shit. Let's get into it. So it looks like Pennywise might actually have a lot more stories to tell. Well, at least according to Hollywood, that is. This obviously is not confirmed to be like actually happening, but you know, the director has been asked, so that's good, right? Andy Muscietti, the man behind Stephen King's adaptation of It and It Chapter 2, could be open for a third chapter in this story, telling about the Pennywise, the murdering clown. So during an interview with Gizmodo, he was actually talking a little bit about, you know, the possibility of a Chapter 3, and this is what he had to say. Pennywise, has been on the Earth for millions of years. He's been in contact with humans for hundreds of those years, every 27 years. So you could imagine the amount of material there is to tell. It's already exciting just to think about all the materials you could think of and all the plans that you could do for Pennywise. It's very exciting, but for the moment, nothing is on the table. So that's pretty much it. I mean, that's really all he had to say about a possibility for a third chapter. So the director himself has said, yeah, it would be very interesting to tell a third chapter, but what it seems like is that if that were to happen, he did say that he's been in contact with humans for every 27 years, even before we meet the Losers Club, right? So imagine the third chapter actually being a prequel. Not exactly a Chapter 3, but more like a Chapter 0. Or if you want to be nasty, a Chapter -5 or something like that. You could do like another prequel trilogy or something like that. Here's what's great about it though, and I'm talking to the director himself here as well. What's great about it is that he has all of this story, all of the lore, all of the places he's been to. Maybe he's been back in World War II talking to kids, right? Like maybe he's been all the way there. Maybe he's been all the way back in the Middle Ages. He's been everywhere, right? I imagine that. Even though that idea itself sounds very exciting on paper, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good idea to make it on film. I mean, you could make a good movie out of it, and if that's the case, some people would be like, why would you say no to a good movie? Here's the thing, we are following the Losers Club. We're not exactly following Pennywise. Pennywise is just a creature that likes to be within the clown costume. Like, that's his favorite costume to scare kids, right? That's his favorite costume to use to be the last thing seen before you die. It's already scary and charming enough and mysterious enough seeing Pennywise as it is in that time era with the Losers Club as, you know, kids and grown-ups. That's why this story needs 2 movies and only needs 2 movies. You don't need to milk this franchise. This essentially is one of those horror franchises that I would say, even though you can make Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 and beyond, you don't have to. This is one of those things where it's like, even if it makes a lot of money or not, this is what Stephen King wanted, this is what the filmmakers wanted, and this is what the fans wanted. That's it. You can stop right there. I'm sure that the second movie is going to make a lot of money, if not more than the first one, and people are going to look at It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 as classics eventually. I'm sure they're doing it right now. So I don't mind that we only have 2 movies. We don't need a third movie. We don't need a 4th movie. Now, if the news comes out that they say, oh, the director's back again, he's going to make a 3rd movie, would I be angry at that? I mean, no, not really. I wouldn't be mad, but I wouldn't be happy at the same time. I'd be nervous. I'll tell you this much. If the same director for Chapter It... I just said Chapter It. I can't believe it. If the same director for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 comes back for Chapter 3, I would be a little bit more happy, because if they ended up changing the directors, the tone would be different, the script would be different, and it probably wouldn't be equally as good or anywhere near as good as the first 2 chapters, if you catch my drift. I feel like the safest bet and the best bet for this franchise is only to have Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. That's it. Chapter 2 is like almost 3 hours long. It's almost as long as Endgame. Why do you want to make more Endgames? That's my question. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you want to see a chapter 3. Are you open for a chapter 3? Do you want this to be like a huge cinematic franchise? Do you only think that 2 chapters are enough? Do you actually think that 1 movie was enough, that 2 chapters is actually too many? Let me know anything you want about it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for brand new videos just like these. And don't forget to click the like button if you liked the video. And that's pretty much it.